I got Jeff's guitar shot one freaking time.
Hurts.
Chris, I saw stars. I saw stars. Balsa freaking wood with the guitar separated and glued back together. But so a gimmick chair isn't going to hurt? A steel chair?
Point.
Bro, it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous.
What was the match with the syringe? Swerve and
Page.
It was Swerve. Yeah.
Who was he against?
Hangman Page in the cage.
Oh, so like they had to re-up the like blood drinking kind of thing. I mean, I'm just wondering, we're in a cage.
No, it wasn't even a blood thing. It wasn't even to solicit blood. It was just a random syringe spot.
I'm saying they had to one up the last time where they did all the gold.
Oh yeah, they're one up. Yeah.
But
this is the logic of this EC3. You're the creative mind as far as just the in-ring worker. So, I got to look at things logically and psychologically. Like, that's just how I think, man. That's how I move. So, okay, so if he's putting a syringe in his mouth, that's typically Novocaine, right? So, wouldn't Swerve Strickland thank him? Because Novocaine is a numbing agent. So if he's putting a syringe in his mouth, it's probably Novocaine, and now he can't feel the pain of him getting punched in the face.
Yeah, he's numbing him before he punches.
He numbed him. So he can't. So if I numbed you and then punch in the face, thanks. I mean, like that. You just helped me because now I can't feel the pain of you numbing me. The other option is, by the way, Hangman Page just randomly hangs out and just has illegal substances in his back pocket. You know what I mean? Like, so it's either he has just random illegal substances in his back pocket and he's a druggie that just, I just so happen, let me use my syringe, or I juice up, you know what I mean? Or the other option is it's Novocaine, and aren't you helping him by numbing him? Like, I don't understand how this made sense whatsoever.
Chris, I got a conspiracy theory.
All right, where's your bit? There you go.
Now, EC3 is one of the boys.
Yep.
Okay, we are not, Chris. EC3 is one of the boys, so I'm going to throw this out there. This may sound nuts, but the boys are known to be the boys. Chris, could they just be throwing all kinds of crazy crap out there to kind of see if Tony Khan will say no to anything? I mean, seriously, are they like in the back? Okay, bro, I'm gonna shoot this past Tony. We're gonna use a syringe. Okay, bro, are they doing this to see if Tony Khan says no to anything?
What do you think?
EC3, come on.
I think if it was a different time, yes. I don't know if in 2024 the boys have that mentality of like, what could we really get away with? But I do not know. Like, I know them, but I don't know them too well personally, and how much of hijinks and tomfoolery they're into. But that is very, very good conspiracy and a very funny conspiracy. Mm-hmm. And then, so Hangman had the syringe, but it ended up going in his mouth.
No, he injected it in Swerve.
Okay, so in the logic of
he just pulled it from his pocket. Like Swerve was like he was in a kneeling position. And all of a sudden, oh man, let me go get my syringe that I just packed for no reason in my pocket. And let me pull the syringe out and let me inject Swerve with whatever substance is in this syringe.
There's, so much to unpack here. First off, I remember the quote, crucifixion, but the sacrifice. I was very, very young at the time, but like even I kind of went like, that's not. there was no realism in it, because like, how is this guy going to be out there in front of 18,000 people and have the boss's daughter tied up? Like, this can't really happen. And I kind of like the pro wrestling, unless we're going really overboard with some cool and wacky ideas, to have some sense of realism. So I remember being young, even at that age, being a smart fan, tuning that out. Second thing, all right, you're bringing a syringe to a fight. If you're gonna the object, you want to win the fight, right? So what are you loading that syringe with? Like you said, is it Novocaine so he can't feel pain? Because I can only think of like, you'd want to knock him out, right? So like barbiturates, maybe some, like maybe he vaxxed him. I'm kidding. You can't say that on YouTube. Or like maybe too, like if it's the boys. I mean, I have a idea for a very over the top performance enhanced wrestling character, but like, I mean, imagine if they did the Tren spot, right, where you inject himself with Tren, which is a crazy performance enhancing that makes you do wild things, and then he just starts blowing a comeback, and it's like Popeye's spinach. I think that would be cool. Third thing, real fast, is okay, we're in a cage match with my bitter sworn enemy who damn near tried to kill me and my family at one point, which, by the way, charges ever pressed or no? Okay.
Nope.
So
no arson charges.
And no we're going to be locked in a cage. I'm going to stash some weapons on me. I don't think a syringe is very logical, because I mean, you can have a knife, perhaps some brass knucks, maybe a little 2-shooter pistol, but a syringe. If I'm going to a fight to kill my enemy, syringe is probably 17th on my list.
But you see, here's the difference, Chris. Listen, it's what EC3 just said as a kid, okay? What he was feeling and thinking as a kid. And I'm going to tell you what I was feeling and thinking as a writer. Bro, you know what this would have been the equivalent of?
What's that?
The Undertaker sacrificing Stephanie. He was never going to sacrifice her because Austin's going to make the save. It was never going to happen. My point is, bro, threaten the plastic bag. Threaten the plastic bag and have somebody make the save. That's the difference. They did it. Taker was never going to sacrifice Stephanie McMahon. Somebody's going to make the save.
Yeah, and I would even say just ditch the whole idea altogether, because like Moxie has never been a guy to carry around plastic bags. Like he wasn't the attempted murderer of John Moxley. That was never a gimmick.
We didn't even bring this up for against EC3 being one of the boys. We didn't even bring the stupidity of this up. So EC3, there is a chair shot to the head of Strickland, where he literally had his arms down and gave his head. Yep. And they're saying, that they gimmicked the chair. Okay, bro, in order for the gimmick chair to work, you still got to hit him over the head with it.
Correct.
You've got to make contact with his head for the gimmick chair to break. You're still hitting him over the head, bro.
I didn't see the episode of Secrets of Pro Wrestling Revealed where they gimmick a chair. I've been in the business some time. I don't really know how you gimmick a chair, but I think they utilized that when who was it? Well, they hit Cody with it. Sean Spears, right? And then backlash for it. Like, really, man, I don't want to sound like dad here, because I've done some dumb things and I'll probably do even more dumb things. But like, these direct chair shots to the head as a guy who's had concussions and gotten to a dark place with a concussion is not at all worth the risk. There's no manhood. There's no bro card. There's no toughness in taking it. It is just ridiculously unsafe for you and your future life and the lives of the people around you. So we learn the hard way.
Amen.
Chris, I swear to you, like these people with these gimmick chairs and this and that. Chris, let's tell these secrets of professional wrestling. The Double J guitar was balsa wood, and Chris, they would take out the bottom of the guitar. They would separate the bottom of the guitar from the guitar, then hot glue it back on. Okay, bro? So you've glued it back on. It's balsa wood. Okay. Bro, I got Jeff's guitar shot one freaking time.
Hurts.
Chris, I saw stars. I saw stars. Balsa freaking wood with the guitar separated and glued back together. But so a gimmick chair isn't gonna hurt? A steel chair?
Good point.
Bro, it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous.
I hope I don't come off as a hypocrite admonishing the chair shot, because in the ultimate match of death, which is on the NWA's YouTube between myself and Matt Cardona, one of my favorite things I did this year, we did, because he's a big Double J fan, so I was like, why don't you Double J hit me with a guitar and then give me the stroke with it around my neck? And that was one of my favorite little ditties we did. But dude, like as a guy who has brain damage, probably I should not have done that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, man, this is a mile when it comes to psychology. I mean, like those direct impacts. Yeah. It's no good.
Psychologist, what's the first thing you both think of when you hear all this? What's the first thing that immediately comes to mind? The first thing.
I think of concussion. I think of CTE. I think of
not the chair shot. Everything we saw on this pay-per-view. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Porn, like I said earlier, because
Chris.
Yeah,
I would say an unhealthy dopamine kick.
I would say desperation,
which is an unhealthy dopamine kick. You know, it's a translation as far as just your presentation is concerned.
It just reeks of like desperation to me. Like you now are playing every single card in that deck, bro.
Desperation is a stinky cologne, but I think, speaking for every wrestling fan, from the most hardcore to the most deranged to the most mainstream to the people who are like, I know who The Rock is. Like, all people want is cool characters, good stories, and good physical action. That is hopefully not everything we do is at the detriment of our bodies, but to an extent where it's done as safely as possible.
Agreed.
I go back to Hogan Andre, man. There was not one guitar or direct impact shot, man. The worst thing we got was a cross chain wrapped from the neck of Hulk Hogan.
We did get a vicious body slam.
Oh man, yeah, it broke Hogan's ribs. He said, brother.
It was his 400th day that year wrestling.
400th day he wrestled. He was tired, man. He was 800 pounds, broke his ribs.
I can still feel what I felt on the chain pull.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
I still do. Yeah.
And those are the feelings that translate through the screen. Like it doesn't translate through the screen that someone's getting a lasting feeling as far as pulling the heartstrings of the fans, that's what we should be doing, is pulling the heartstrings of the fans as far as wrestling, creative. If I'm doing a direct shot, no non-protected to the head, how is that pulling the heartstrings of the fans more than just scratching an itch that's just going to come back again?
Yeah.
And Chris, believe it or not, whatever you heard, that was not real glass in the barbershop.
Ah, okay. It was rigged.
Not real glass.
It was rigged.
Yeah.
It was rigged. Yeah, it's all rigged. It's all rigged. Go ahead, EC.
Well, can you imagine? I'm sorry to interrupt you, EC, but I just want to say one more thing with the glass, bro. You know what I think of, bro? Remember how Steve Irwin died? Remember, bro? The Stingray shot him up.
Yeah.
Bro, do you know, EC? Bro, do you know you're going through a plate of glass? All you need is one shard coming up this way. You're dead, bro. You're dead for a wrestling spot.
Yes.
You're dead, bro.
Yeah.
You nick it here, a femoral artery. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Well, luckily they probably
what were you going to say, bro? I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
No. I was just saying, luckily they have probably a bunch of noose-like contraptions under the ring, because it's a damn near battleground, apparently, where they can maybe make a quick tourniquet. But a couple things I was going to say. One was pulls the heartstrings, right? And then I was going to go, that's what made 93,000 people fill up the Pontiac Silverdome. And then I was going to go, well, actually, it was 88,000. thing. And then the other thing I want to mention is, like, again, speaking from a wrestling fan perspective, like, you know, a lot of wrestlers are, you know, polarized. Like me, a lot of people like me, a lot of people don't like me, whatever. But I can probably honestly say every wrestling fan loves, you know, Bryan Danielson, you know. And to an extent, every AEW fan's like, they watch Swerve get kind of tossed around and use like poorly in NXT to come and make his name in AEW. So they love him too. And like Hangman's been there since the beginning. So they feel things for these people where you can pull those heartstrings still because they have emotional attachments to these guys. That is not necessarily we need to do murder and execution. Mergers and acquisitions? No, murders and executions.
Yeah.
Bro, the month before EC3, based on what you're saying, the month before he had his freaking little girl there, bro. You talk about pulling on heartstrings, right, Chris? He had little Birdie there the month before, bro.
Yep. And her saying that she wants him to come home. You know, and all of that was just exactly. Like, bring that into like the story instead of trying to murder him. Like, it's I mean, they've really backed themselves into an addictive corner, man. And
maybe next week, because we forgot one very important point, and I know we're running late, but maybe next week we can look into. I got another question for the both of you. Where do we get cinder blocks from now? How do cinder blocks appear in the ring? Where are these cinder blocks coming from that they're appearing in the ring now, bro?
Why are they there? Well, I mean,
when Bob Rosen builds his rings, he has a couple of extra cinder blocks underneath.
Bro, do you know what we saw today? I've told you about the drill through the cheek. You know what else we saw today, bro? Bro, you know how Shane McMahon does the coast to coast?
Yeah.
Bro, the one guy did the coast to coast, the other guy's in the corner. Guess what's between the two guys? The guys in the corner, the one guy's ready to do the coast to coast. Guess what's next to the guy in the corner? He does the coast to coast. He kicks this thing and it takes the guy out against the ropes.
What is it?
A washing machine, bro. A washing machine, Chris, was in the ring. A washing machine was in the ring.
Like, if you're going to be absurd, be that absurd. Like, in lieu of like a plastic bag on Danny Bryan's head, why don't we just drop a piano on him like it's a
yes.
There you go. Hey, man, at least that's a good visual, bro.
Just have the head there, have the anvil, like have a forklift, like, come on, let's go. Just drop the anvil right there.
When we watch these clips, that's what I was telling Al. So this is starting to look more and more like Wile E. Coyote.
Yes, absolutely.
Way to God, bro.
Oh, next week, John's gonna come out with the big hunting gun. And like, you know, Daniel Bryan's and like turn it around on him. He's gonna shoot himself in the face as we go.
Yes, it's going to split out. Yeah.
Rabbit.